What's the worst case of rich kid syndrome you've seen? A kid in my graduating high school class was very wealthy. His parents bought him a Land Rover when he was 16, and he crashed it into a school bus. They bought him another Land Rover and he lost it street racing. Guess what? They bought him a Mercedes. When I was a broke-as-fuck bike messenger, I was dating a woman who was heir to a major restaurant fortune. One evening, she wanted to go to a club downtown, and I said I couldn't go because I didn't have any money. She said I should come on anyway, so I figured she's footing the bill. When we got to the club and it's time to pay the cover at the door, she pays for herself and starts to walk in. I'm like, hey, I don't have any money. I can't get in. She comes back out and tells me to just put it on my credit card, but of course I don't have one. Then she tells me she'll drive me to an ATM. But of course I don't have a bank account because I'm broke. I'm standing there in the street with her, trying futilely to explain that I literally do not own any money. She could not grasp the concept. I ended up walking home and she went to the club. We did not last long. So she would drive you to an ATM, but not pay for you to get in. Charming! Fraternity did a pledge event in which we were placed in a limo. Normal friend. Wow, this is awesome! I've never been in a limo before. Rich kid syndrome friend. Haven't you ever been to the airport? I went to a private school for high school, so we had a lot of those. Crashed one fancy car and daddy bought them a new one. Kind of stories floating around. But I didn't know any of them personally. Then I went to a private college. Suddenly most of my classmates seemed to be these people. The worst by far was this guy my roommate dated for a while. 1. Had a really nice car but had no idea how to take care of it. When it started to have trouble, he dropped it in front of a friend's house and had his parents buy him a new one. 2. Spilled a drink all over someone's computer, and when they got upset, he laughed and told them they could just get a new one. 3. Told several professors that he paid for an A, so he damn well better get it. In poetry class, what a fact, dude, that was the easiest A ever. 4. Didn't understand why my roommate went home for a weekend to help her dad after surgery. He asked her why she didn't have people for that. 5. Threw away his textbooks when he was done with them. I dug through his trash with his roommate, and we split the haul even Stevens. And so much more. He didn't last long as my roommate's boyfriend nor as anyone's friend. I don't think he ever graduated. Weirdly, he had a twin sister who was very sweet and down to earth, so I have no idea how that happened. My sweet mate freshman year of college would pay me, my roommate, and his roommate to his chores for him every couple of weeks. He literally gave me $20 for making his bed. Dude would stand in a club and rip up bills of €10 yelling, "This is nothing to me." Okay, how about just giving away beer instead of antagonizing anyone in sight? My broke ass crawling around picking up half-tens to tape together, lol. Hell, my well-off ass would do that. Free money. That's a €10 opportunity cost right there. I met a kid who didn't understand the concept of washing dishes. Wife went back to college. New city, didn't know anyone. Started a movie night thing to meet some people and build a social circle. We provided a home-cooked meal, a fun movies that most people hadn't seen, and a place to gather went over great, and had 6 to 12 people showing up each week to hang out and talk and eat our food. Generally good people. Because she was going back to college, a lot of college kids came. All good. I knew this one guy was from a rich family. His first night there he's bragging to everyone who listened about this $30K plus truck his parents just bought him and telling everybody how awesome he is. After everything is done, we're collecting dishes in the kitchen, and he walks over and following me to the kitchen he walks in and puts his dish and silverware in the trash can. Hey man, what are you doing? I'm assuming he brain blanked for a second. No big deal. What? Give me the dishes, don't throw them out. It's a ceramic plate, not a paper one. Why? He asks, obviously confused. I'm going to wash it. Why? He repeats. Now I'm confused. So it'll be clean for next time? Oh, like the dining hall. Oh, okay. Sure. I find out later he basically lives off takeout, restaurants, etc. He's never cooked anything in his life. His family has servants who clean up after meals and he just assumed dishes were something you threw out when you were done. College was the first place where he even saw the idea of putting dishes somewhere other than the trash, or leaving them on the table, afterward. He wasn't a bad guy, honestly, just. I was amazed something so incredibly basic had slipped by him for years. I work with a girl who said she only drinks new water. She explained new water meant only bottled water because it's new because they make it fresh just to bottle it. Another colleague explained the water cycle and that bottled water isn't new water at all. She was dumbfounded. Was she disgusted? If she doesn't know, please be sure to specify that she could have drank filtered dinosaur piss. Girl in my high school physics class offering her brand new iPhone to be destroyed in an experiment because my dad will just buy me a new one. She had it for like 1 week. Worked at Trader Joe's while going to college, as did a lot of other people working there. One day while stocking the shelves with a coworker, a father and his daughter were shopping next to my coworker. I overheard the daughter ask, "Daddy, what is she doing?" The father replied, "Honey, that's what happens when you don't go to college." My coworker cried for the rest of her shift. The father was asked to leave. I can't make many assumptions about his wealth, but he definitely had the mentality. Classmate at university was from Qatar. Family owned large shares in a bank and was generally very deeply involved with the financial world in the Middle East. Needless to say, they were disgustingly filthy rich. First day on campus, we all decide to play soccer, so he goes to his room to change. When we come back from playing, we all go back to his room, and when we walk in, his clothes were still exactly where he threw them on the floor. He lost his shit at the idea that nobody would clean his room for him, and that he had to do his own laundry. He ended up going shopping every 2 to 3 weeks for really nice and expensive clothes and would throw them out after wearing them a few times because he didn't want to do laundry. I'm talking about a Brooks Brothers button-down shirt worth over $100 only being worn once or twice before ending up in the trash. I would have gone through the garbage, retrieved some of the clothes for myself. Don't let $100 shirts go to waste. Funny thing is, I'm pretty sure some of the kids did this. News about his habits spread pretty quickly, so everybody on the floor was aware of it. The problem is that he was really lanky and not many people would fit into the clothes he wore. Not me, but my scuba instructor told this story. Some rich family paid him a few $1,000s to fly down and give private scuba lessons to them in the Bahamas. In scuba, you have to demonstrate you can handle all the skills in the pool before they let you in the ocean. During the pool part, they got to the skill of clearing the water out of your mask, which is mildly unpleasant but not painful, or even hard. They refused to do it. My instructor said if you can't clear a mask, you can't be cleared to dive. They spent a few thousand on private scuba classes, and wasted it all because they refused a pretty simple skill. When I was about 17, I had recently saved up enough money to buy a new smartphone. It took forever since I was a high schooler earning minimum wage, and being told by my parents to use money on certain things. So in total, I had very little say in what my money would be used for. So when I had enough for this smartphone, I was too excited. So it's been about a year with this phone. I plan on keeping it for a couple more since I prefer to use them until they're completely useless. I'm holding it and standing outside in a parking lot, waiting for my friend inside the store. She comes out and comes up to me. She is spoiled rotten, mind you. She's hyped up about something. I never found out what. She grabbed my phone, and I thought she was going to make a call since she left her phone at home. I warned her to be careful with it. No, she was not careful. She wasn't making a call at all. She threw my phone in the air and caught it. At this point, I was flipping shit and running over to her to take it back. Back she threw it again, much higher, and tried to catch it. She did not catch it. My phone was completely shattered. I was horrified, and cradling it like she just dropped my newborn child. I kept asking her why she did it. She just laughed and said, "I didn't think it was gonna break." I got angry and said that it took forever to save up for it. She replied, "Just ask your mom for a new one." I told her not everyone can ask their parents for a couple $100s for a new phone. She simply shrugged and said, "It's just $300. Not really that much." She doesn't work, obviously. She doesn't know what $300 means to a teenager making minimum wage. She then asked me to tell my mom that I broke it so she wouldn't get in trouble. Needless to say, when I told my mom how it broke, the truth, my friend was pretty pissed. In fact, she refused to buy me a new phone when I asked. She wouldn't tell her parents, and she never invited me over again so I could tell her mom. So a few years later, I'm out and about and in town again, and I see my old friend's mom. We were catching up from the last time we saw each other, which was before the phone incident. Then her mom says, "It's a shame you two stopped talking because you were upset that you broke your phone." Well, I quickly ended the conversation and went on my merry way. Side note, I have an iPhone now. I don't let anyone near it. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.